Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Hope you enjoy the content. Let's get started.
World War I, 1914-1918, also known as the First World War, was the first large-scale global military conflict. It stands as one of the most significant geopolitical events of the 20th century, causing profound changes to the countries involved and reshaping the entire international system. World War I did not stem from a single cause, but was the result of a complex combination of factors that had been building up over decades. The major causes include: in the early 20th century, European countries like Germany, France, Russia, and Britain experienced a rise in nationalism. Competition to assert dominance, expand territory, and gain political influence created tensions among nations. National independence movements, especially in the Balkans, also threatened the stability of major empires. The race to acquire colonies and global influence fueled political and economic tensions between European powers. Germany, with its burgeoning industrial base, sought to expand its empire beyond Europe, which conflicted with the interests of established empires like Britain and France. The race to acquire colonies and global influence fueled political and economic tensions between European powers. Germany, with its burgeoning industrial base, saw tensions between nations led to an unprecedented arms race. Germany expanded its navy to rival Britain's, while other nations strengthened their military forces and stockpiled weapons to protect their interests. This arms race created a constant atmosphere of tension, making war seem inevitable. By the time the war broke out, Europe had divided into two major military alliances: the Central Powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire, and the Allied Powers, Britain, France, Russia, later joined by Italy and the United States. These alliances, originally meant to prevent conflict, ultimately dragged multiple countries into war once a regional conflict erupted. By the time the war broke out, Europe had divided into two major military alliances. The immediate cause of World War I was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary on June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo, by Gavrilo Princip, a member of a Serbian nationalist group. This event led Austria-Hungary to declare war on Serbia, setting off a chain reaction of war declarations due to the web of alliances. World War I is characterized by prolonged and brutal fighting, with major battles fought on the Western Front and the Eastern Front. Western Front. This was the site of the most intense fighting. After the war broke out, German forces quickly advanced into France, but were halted at the Battle of the Marne in September 1914. From that point, the war turned into a stalemate, with both sides entrenched in defensive trench warfare that lasted for years. Life in the trenches was harsh, and the strategic deadlock resulted in heavy casualties and little territorial gain. Eastern Front. Here, the German and Austro-Hungarian forces faced off against Russia. The Eastern Front was more fluid than the Western Front, with large-scale battles such as Tannenberg and the Masurian Lakes. Despite its large army, Russia's poor equipment and leadership led to significant losses. By 1917, the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia led to the country's withdrawal from the war, formalized by the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk in 1918. In 1917, the United States joined the war after Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare resulted in the sinking of American ships. The U.S. entry provided fresh troops and financial support to the Allies, shifting the balance of power. By late 1918, the Central Powers were severely weakened. Austria-Hungary disintegrated, the Ottoman Empire collapsed, and Germany faced defeat on all fronts. On November 11, 1918, Germany signed the Armistice of Compiègne, officially ending the war. The war had devastating consequences, both in terms of human cost and its broader global impact. World War I was one of the deadliest conflicts in history, resulting in an estimated 16 million deaths, including soldiers and civilians. Tens of millions were wounded, many suffering permanent physical or psychological damage. The war led to the collapse of several major empires, including Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, and Imperial Russia. The Bolshevik Revolution in Russia brought about the rise of the Soviet Union, a new global power with a communist ideology. In Germany, the humiliation and dissatisfaction stemming from the defeat and the harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles contributed to the rise of fascism, paving the way for Adolf Hitler and the eventual outbreak of World War II. Treaty of Versailles, 1919. The treaty imposed heavy reparations on Germany, forcing the nation to accept full responsibility for the war. It also significantly limited Germany's military capabilities and stripped the country of its colonies and territories. These punitive measures fueled widespread resentment in Germany, which would later play a role in the rise of the Nazi regime. The war redrew the map of Europe. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was dismantled, resulting in the creation of new nations like Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, and Yugoslavia. In the Middle East, the Ottoman Empire's collapse led to British and French control over large areas, eventually giving rise to modern nations such as Iraq, Syria, and Palestine. World War I also spurred significant social change, particularly in the role of women. With men fighting on the front lines, women took on greater roles in the workforce and society, accelerating the movement for gender equality. In many countries, women gained the right to vote in the aftermath of the war. World War I was a transformative conflict that reshaped global politics, society, and economics. With millions of lives lost and the old order of empires destroyed, the war set the stage for significant changes throughout the 20th century. The war not only broke the established empires, but also redrew the world map and sowed the seeds of future conflicts, most notably World War II. Its legacy, including the birth of new nations, the rise of communism, and the quest for international peacekeeping, continues to influence world affairs today.
Thank you all for watching this video. Your support and feedback are a huge motivation for me to keep creating quality content. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. If you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll do my best to respond to everyone. Once again, thank you so much and I'll see you in the next video.